Guys, this is Vijay, your host. So today we are going to talk about Nexus Dashboard Fabric Controller, which we call that NDFC. So this is our topology I have, and NDFC previously formerly known as Nexus Dash and your DCNM. Okay, Data Center Control Manager. So NDFC is a new enhanced version of the DCNM, which we were using for the Nexus devices. The enhancement which has been made for the NDFCs, it can have multiple various type of deployment. It can also support that Catalyst or Nexus and CSR, iOS XE. These are the devices can be supported. So what I have here is, and there are various type of deployment which we can do in the NDFC. Okay, so this is the physical virtual box I have. Okay, in the physical box, there's two types of interfaces will be there. One is management, one is the data interface. Data interface we use for the all the devices. Uh, Between the all the devices will be communicating with the data management interface. Data interface of the NDFC and the management interface we use for uh, the basically you can say the graphical interface access or the management purpose. Okay, if you're having the virtual, so like data interface, then you have the management interface. And if I show you that what I have the configuration and how I have the configuration in the topology. So let me show that I have NDFC and NDFC. I have this topology exact what Cisco suggests that. I have three-tier architecture: access layer, aggregation layer, and core layer. I have core layer as a CSR router and aggregation as a spine Nexus devices and leaf switches I'm using as a access layer. You can see that. Okay, so if I show that my lab which I have, so let me open the lab. Okay, this is the lab I have where you can see that I have leaf devices, spine devices, two spine, two leaf, two CSR router. If I show the picture, this is the picture I have. So I have two spine switches which are going to run the VPC and HSRP. And here I have two leaf switches which is going to run the VPC. And I'm going to have the back-to-back VPC here. Okay. And this is the VLAN 20 I have with the non-LACP. And this is the VLAN 10, which is going to have the LACP configuration. And here we are going to have the OSPF between these devices. So very first thing is here is currently I have all the management interface of the devices. All the management interface of the devices are reachable to the NDFC, Nexus dashboard, you can say, or next NDFC, you can say that. Okay, NDFC is just a small one feature within the Nexus dashboard. Okay, Nexus dashboard has huge, or there are various type of application which it can onboard on that. Okay, so once you connect that management interface with the NDFC and try to discover these devices, it will automatically start the discovery using the LLDP or CDP. Okay, if you see that next, this is the leaf switch I have. In the leaf switches, if I show that only the management interface IP address has been configured. Apart from that, there is no VPC, there is nothing has been configured, and there's one or two VLANs are configured over here. Okay, I have the LACP and CFSOE, which is by default is running. I have not done anything. Same thing for the spine switches also. If I show this, Cisco 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I shall show you that, show run, I have just one SNMP configured, which is an IP domain lookup configured, and these are just the turn port. Either you can remove or something that doesn't matter for you, but for me, I have just management IP address configuration, which is the main thing for us here. Okay. So very first thing is what we are going to do here is I do have the solution which is going to explain step by step. This is Cisco dCloud Lab, and in dCloud this is all the steps which we need to perform that. So in the video's comment, I will update that this lab also, as well as if you have the Cisco dCloud lab access, you can use this particular as lab to configure or to have all the sort of testing which you want to do that with the NDFC. So let me log into the Nexus dashboard first, okay, which I already have the access. So this is the Nexus dashboard I have, which is running 2.2. And let me log into that Nexus dashboard. And this is the Nexus dashboard console, which I have. Okay, if you see that there is admin console. Admin console means it will give you that all sort of details, how many nodes you have in the Nexus dashboard cluster, what is the health report, all these things it will give that. So Nexus dashboard is the based Nexus dashboard run on top of the Kubernetes and Docker applications. And if you see that in the services section, you have Nexus Dashboard Fabric Controller. There are various type of app which are available to use. Either you can use Insight, Orchestrator, ServiceNow, all these things. So I'm currently using this NDFC, which is what I need there. Okay, this NDFC we can use for the LAN, SAN, and for the monitoring purpose. So I will open this. And the very first thing is what I will do here is I will see that what exactly has been configured. Do we have anything configured? Currently saying that we do not have anything which has been configured here. Okay, if I go to the setting here, features. So these are the features you should be enabling that. Do you want IPAM feature also? You want performance testing, VMM integration, all this feature, whatever feature you want, you can enable it. Okay, if you want SAN, MDS device to be configured, just enable the SAN, but for that you need to have the license. Okay, same thing here, server features, what exactly server feature you want to have. I have the such access, I can access these Nexus devices if at all it is connecting. Okay, so these are some by default templates which will be applied during the configuration. If I go to the operation, you can see that what level of events you have in the devices, all this, what is the license management, do we have any license for this? So currently this is the virtual environment and lab testing. So I have evaluation license which I'm using. So I will go to dashboard. Very first thing what I will do here is I will try to go to the LAN. On the LAN, I will create that one data center. So in order to start the discovery, suppose you have one data center. Okay, you will create that DC1. Okay, if you're having another data center, multi-data center environment, in this case, though for those devices, you will create the DC2. So let me show that in Cisco documentation. What I'm trying to say here is, so this is the device deployment controller. So all right, so this is the scenario. Where is that? Let me show you this. This was the DCNA traditional way of configuring it. Okay, so this is the scenario I have. Okay, in the scenario, if you're having a single data center, you can just create a single DC. If you're having the multiple data center like this one, this is the multi-DC scenario. This is the multi-DC scenario. In this case, multiple fabric, you have to create it. Okay, for my case, I have just single data center with a single design. So which I have the web server, which is connecting to the core. I have the, these servers, which is connecting over in. We will try to. Okay. So let's start with that. So what I will do here is in the fabric, I will try to create the fabric. In the fabric, during the creation of the fabric, I will give that fabric name and like classical LAN fabric. Okay, for example. Then I will choose the template. Template means what level of deployment you want to do, for these devices. So there are multiple ways. If you're having just 9,000 city switches, you have to go with the easy fabric. If you want to go with the VXLAN EVPN deployment for Catalyst, you can choose this template. If you want to go with the EBGP for this, choose this one. If you want to have the Cisco devices with the Nexus and ISR and XR devices, go with the Cisco non-Nexus and non-Nexus devices. There are various type of, if you have in the MDS, you have to select the MDS type of the template. In the template, there are various features will be by default enabled. So if I show you this, these are the templates. Okay, in the templates you will see that Easy Fabric. In Easy Fabric, all the feature it will be supporting for only for these two types of the devices. If you're having the XC, this is the Catalyst 9000, which will be supporting for VXLAN BGP. If you're having the eBGP templates enabled, these features will be supporting. If we are going to have the external fabric, which is the most used, the one, it will have the VPC configuration feature, layer 2, layer 3, basically hierarchy feature. Basically, layer 2 tier or 3 tier architecture will be most recommended for the fabric. If you are using just pure layer 2 fabric path VPC feature, you want to do that, you just have to go with the LAN classical. So it depends on what exactly feature you want. You can select that your templates based on that. Okay, so what I will do here is I will select the external fabric because I have the iOS also and Nexus also. Okay, Nexus and non-Nexus devices which I have in the fabric. I will see the external fabric. Then I will choose yes. Then you will see that there is a BGP parameters in that. BGP parameters for what? BGP parameter, there is a two types of communication which these devices use for communication. Okay, what are these two types of the feature? First is the layer 2 mode, layer 3 mode. Either you connect your device with the Nexus with all the devices as a layer 2 reachability or layer 3 reachability. So let me show that where exactly I have feature. So if I show you this, all right. So this is I will give that the link for this. So there is two types of communication need to happen. Layer 3 reachability you can establish between the cluster and the devices, or layer 2 adjacency you can have. If you want to have the layer 3 adjacency, then you need to have the IP-based communication. You need to give the BGP AS number. Okay. If you want to have the layer 2 based communication, then you can have this base communication, pure layer 2. Okay, just management IP address will be communicating. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. But if you want to have the layer 3, you have to go ahead with the layer 2 base communication, which I will update this documentation for the initial setup. So I'm going to have the layer 3 base communication. So what I will do here is I will go and enable that AS number, which AS number I want to have 65001. And I will uncheck this fabric monitoring because if you enable it, you will not be able to configure anything. You will just have to, you will just be able to monitor it. If you uncheck, you will able to push the configuration for these devices. Then if you see that by default, this is the template I have. If you change anything, if you want to change it, definitely you can change it here, right? Bootstrap configuration. Do you want to configure, any sort of DSCP, POP, anything related to the AAA management IP address you want to configure. Since I already have these details, so I will not create any templates. I will just use the generic template with this BGPS number. That's it. If I go to the next, save here. Once you save that, then I will try to discover the switches and try to apply this template on those devices. Okay, this is the template I've created. I double click on this. You will land onto the overview. In the overview, currently nothing is in particular template, right? I will go to the switch and I will try to add this switch. And what IP address I'm going to give, if you see that the leaf switch, in the leaf switch, what is the management IP address? This is the management IP address. Okay, the moment I will discover the management IP address 198.18.4.101. Okay, NXOS type, which OS type you want to discover, make sure that you discover this one. You do not use XC for the NXOS. Okay, admin username password. You must have the privilege 15. It means read write access for this one. Then I will say discover the switch. The moment I will say discover the switches, all the Nexus devices which are connecting to this particular box will be automatically discovered, including these boxes. Even non-Nexus devices will be discovered using the LLDP. As long as it is this device able to send the LLDP, all the devices will be able to discover it. Look here, all the devices including that some CSR router, VMware, all these things are discoverable. So what I will do here is I will just add only the Nexus devices. Then I will say that add switches. Add switches. It will save the configuration. Then and it will remove that all the remaining devices from the table. It will only allow these Nexus devices to be remain up and there. And after the Nexus devices, what I'm going to do here is I will try to add the CSR router also. Just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. All right, once this is done, I will close this. If you see that these are the 4 devices only I have, then I will add that CSR devices. Okay, in a CSR devices, what is the IP address? I have the CSR management IP address, C device IP address, the 5152. Then I will change to the XE. In CSR, then I will give that username password. This is username. This is the password I have. Then I will discover this. Once the discovery is done, what I will do here is I will add that and OK, cool. I will add that device. Please add the switches. When it is added, then I will try to allocate the roles of this for these devices. I will allocate this as a access layer, this as a aggregation layer, this as a core layer. OK, 3 layer I will divide that. Cool. Then I will close this. I will select these leaf switches and I will try to set the role, which I already have that current as a leaf switch. OK, or if you want to use that some other role, definitely you can use that. But I will select the real leaf switches, which is already there. And then I will try to use these spine devices as an aggregation devices. Aggregation devices. Perfect. Then I will use these 2 devices as a core device. I will say core router. Once it is done, what I will do here is I will deploy this. I will say that recalculate and deploy this. Then once you deploy that, you will see the fabric status must be saying that managed. OK, and it all should be healthy. I will say deploy all. Deployment is successful for these leaf switches, all these things. So what so far will be there? Do we have any configuration after this deployment? Answer is it will just push that one SNMP server. That's it. It will not push that many other configuration as long as you are not, giving that any defining that any policies in the templates. Once it is done, configuration in sync, what I will do here is I will try to create the VPC between the spine to spine and leaf to leaf. Spine to spine, leaf to leaf. These are the VPC domain ID, and these are the peer link and management link I'm going to use as a peer keep live link. OK, so what I will do here is I will go to the spine switch. select the spine switch here, spine 1. Then I will define that VPC pairing. In the VPC pairing, I will select the spine 2. Then I will select the VPC template. Okay, how these templates by defaults are coming. So let me go to the policies here. Okay, in the policies, if you see, there's few policies have been already defined here. Okay, however, if you want to, create any policy or something like that, you can create it. Look here. You can create it. If you do not want to create any policy, you want to use it, just default policy, that is also possible. You can use that. This default policy was whatever it is created. Few created for the, interface policy, few created a VPC policy, like more than 70, 30, 70, 80 policies have been created over here. Okay. So since I have already these policies, what I will do here is I will try to utilize these policies. Default one. So I will say VPC pairing. In a VPC pairing, I will say spine with spine 2. And this pair is VPC pair policy. In the pair policy, what I will do here is what is the VPC domain? 200. What is the local IP address? Local IP address is 201. Local management IP address. And keep 202. So the moment you will say this one, so automatically switch will define the source and destination for both the devices. You do not have to. You have just to give that local IP address for keep alive whatever you have in the device. For example, spine 1, I have this one. Spine 2, I have this one. Local IP. It will automatically create that. Then what VRF you want to use? I want to use management. Okay, let me see that if spelling is right. Management VRF. Then I will not touch anything else here. I will click on the VPC peer link. In the VPC peer link, I will give that port channel ID is 200 for spine 1, spine 2, 200. What is the interface ID? I will give that ETH1 slash I think 1 or 2. Let me open the topology. So 1/1, 1/2. These two ports. Okay, leave 1/1, 1/2. And leave 1/1, 1/2 for both the side. Either can be different ID also. Port channel will be active. Description, if you want to give that, that's well and fine. So the link to the spine 2, link to spine 1, vice versa. Then I will say enable the VPC. Okay, allow should be the trunk all. This is it. I have to save this configuration now. Once you've done the save configuration, I will not deploy that. I will configure the switch leaf switches also for the VPC. I will say the VPC. And I have, so if you see that I have this all the criteria in the documentation, what IP address I have, for the leaf switches, for spine, all these things. So I will update this document in the video section also, comment section also, description. So you'll be able to find out that what IP address need to be done. I will say that this one, NIF2, I will say the VPC pair, I have 100. Then I will say that the local IP address is for peer 1 is 101. For peer 2 is 102. Okay, if I say the leaf 1 has this IP address. Okay, so I will be using the local IP address, and leaf 2 is this one. So I go here. Then I will do here is VPC management VRF. Then I will not touch anything else. If it is VPC, I will see that port channel 100 ID. Port channel is 100. What is the port details for this? 1 and 2 is the same port ID. So I will try to give that same port ID, 1 and 2. Active, VPC, peer, port channel description. If you want to give, I can give that. Leaf towards leaf 2. Okay, and towards leaf 1. And VLAN is part of the VPC peer link and it's allowed all. Then I will save this configuration and I will try to deploy this to VPC configuration, which is a pending configuration. Okay, I will select these devices, 4 devices. Then I will go here and I will say that deploy this configuration. In the deploy this configuration, I will say deploy all. And we'll see that in the leaf switches, what is happening. It's saying that VPC configuration has been pushed and there is some VPC error. If I say so run VPC, which has been pushed here, look here. Now, if I say so VPC, saying that destination is suspended, destination is unreachable, wait for a second, it will. So run VPC. So IP interface brief VRF management. Perfect. So saying that the destination is this one, which is wrong. Destination should be the remote and this one should be the local. Okay, so that's the reason it is wrong. What about the spine switches? Spine switches are fine or not. So run VPC. So VPC. Suspended, we are reachable. So IP interface brief VRF MGMT. VRF management here. You will see that 201 is here, 201 is here. So I have given the wrong address here. It should be vice versa. So what I will do, I will close this and I will modify the configuration which I have given for VPC. We'll give that 2 here, 1 here. Okay, vice versa. Over here also, what I will do here is in a VPC pair, I will give that this is a 2, this as a 1. Okay, then I will try to deploy again the same configuration. And we'll see that if VPC is coming up or not. Modification is very easy. You don't have to work too much on that part. If I say so VPC, you will see that VPC is not fine. Now fine. If I say so run VPC, this type swap that this IP address from source to destination. Same thing for the leaf should be also. So VPC. Yeah, everything is fine. This configuration has been pushed. These are the VLAN which are allowed on that. If I say so VPC, perfectly fine. Okay. Now, what is the next step to configure that? Next step is to configure that. So let me note down what I'm trying to do that in task wise. Okay. NDFC adding a VPC is done. Then I will create that SVI and HSRP on the aggregation devices on the this device. Okay. Then I will try to form the OSPF neighborship also. Okay, so let's first create the SVI. So before creating the SVI, what I will do here is verification is done. What I will do here is I will try to create that connectivity. Connectivity between what? Between these devices. Between these devices. Because VPC is up and running here, VPC is up and running here. What about these ports? Port channel. So I will try to create the VPC port channel. Back-to-back VPC, try to establish that 3 and 4 here. And 5 and 6 here over here. Okay, so let me go to the my device here. I will go to the interface here. I will try to create the interface here. Then I will put that VPC interface I want to create. I want to create between spine to on the spine devices. I want to create on the spine 1 and 2. On a spine 1 and 2, what is the ID you want to give? I want to just give the VPC ID 20. Host trunk. OK, this is the that is already created. So I will use this one. 20 VPC member port is you can define Ethernet 1/3 and 4, which is there. So what I will do, I will try to mirror the configuration. Whatever I'm going to configure for peer 1 should be replicate for the peer 2 also. I do not have H trunk. I do not have BPDU guard. And the allowed VLAN is all. OK, here. Then and VPC port channel is done. Once this is done, I will just save the configuration, saying that switch does not exist. Is saying that the member does not exist in a switch. Just give me a second. Okay, so this port. Okay, make sure that space and all these things must be. So I will say that I will either I can deploy that, or you can preview that. In the preview the configuration, you will see that what exactly configuration will be pushed on that devices. You will see that running configuration is this one. There is no configuration on this port. The pending configuration which I'm going to do is this configuration, which I'm going to perform that. Okay, and then what is the expected configuration is expected configuration is VLAN to allow list all should be there, which is not there in the configuration. Pending configuration, there is 1-2 line configuration is missing, which is VLAN allowed list all, which I have to make that some modifications on that, especially this one. Okay, so how we can do that? I will just cancel this and I will go to here. I will say that port mode active, enable that jumbo, speed is auto, allow list all should be all only, right? Given that all, why it is not giving that? I will manually type also switch port. I can manually type also switch port trunk allowed VLAN all. Okay, this is the command which I can do the configuration. If I preview that, and let's see how it looks. 18 lines, VLAN 20. Expected line is I have another added this line, so I will cancel this and don't want to create it. Description, you can define that. Otherwise, if you do not want to have a description, that is also fine. If what I am missing here. Port fast is fine. Speed is fine. Trunk is fine. Anyways, I will just save it and we'll see that later. Okay, then what I will do here is either I can deploy this. Okay, if I try to deploy, or we can deploy it later also. That's it's up to us how we want to deploy that. And I will go to the spine switches. On the spine switch, if I say so, run interface. In the interface, you will see that 3 and 4 has now configured the VPC. Okay. Now, if I go and see that, so VPC currently is down because other side interface is down. So I will configure interface 5 and 6 for the leaf 1 and 2 switches. So how are we going to do that? I will just close this. I will create another port channel, which we call that create interface VPC between leaf from leaf 1 and 2. What I will do here is I will give the VPC ID 10. The policy I have attached, which is fine 10, and I will configure the exact same replica 3 and 4, not 3 and 4, 5 and 6. 5 and 6. If you do not want to, if you have different port ID, do not enable that replica. You can just configure that manually. Okay. Then I will say active. This should be the no. I will just disable that port fast. Here I will just say that all. Or you can give the range also, which is fine. VPC port is fine. That's it. Then I will save this, save the configuration. Then deploy the configuration. I don't need to preview that. If before deployment, if you want to preview that, you can preview it. Just deploy the configuration. All right, so once the deployment is done, the port channel between these devices must be up. Okay, so if I go to the here, let's go to the VPC. Yeah, port is up. The only thing is VLAN is not allowed. If you see that VLAN, so VLAN, because VLAN is not available. That's the reason VLAN is not allowed. So VPC, perfect. So LLDP neighbor. So CDP neighbor, cool. And if I go to the list switches, so VPC, I have another port here, which is currently having a VLAN. Perfect. Once the VPC is back to back, everything is done. I will go and create that HSRP and VLAN on the spine switches, on the spine switch. Okay, then these are the IP address for HSRP. So what I will do here is I will go to the device here, close this. This deployment is done. I will go to the fabric. Then I will create the interface again. And I will, if you see that there is like MTU, mode, VLAN, right? So VLAN currently you will see that a lot of options will be here. VLAN, VRF, neighbor, description, all these things for interfaces. So I will create the VLAN interface. I will create that loopback you want to create the SVI. I will say that SVI I want to create it. I want to create on the spine one. Okay. And what is the VLAN? I will just give that VLAN 10. Interface policy, which I want to create, interface policy for SVI creation. In general, do I need to give that any specific thing? No, I will just give the general parameter. In generic parameter, I will give that IP address, which I have this one for 10.10.10.254. So what I will do here is I will give the IP address .1. Okay. And slash value, I will give that slash 24, I think. Is that the one? Yeah, slash 24 might be. Then in the meanwhile, what I will do here is I will try to enable the IP address. Okay, sorry. Subnet mask should be the slash 24. Okay, I will create that disable IP redirect. That's fine. Description you want to give, description if you want, you can give that. Otherwise, no need to give that. I will just enable that. Admin should be up. I will go to the advanced parameter. In advanced parameter, I will just enable that HSRP. Okay, in the HSRP flag, I will just enable it. It will ask what is the virtual IP address? 254. What is the group ID you can give? I just want to give VLAN 10. And you want to give priority, you want to give 50. Okay. And what then I will just either 1 or 2 is fine. I will just select that too for my case. Okay, and that's it. And enable the preempt if you want. And if you want a DSCP and all these things, you can do that. Otherwise, no need to define that, no need to give that. However, once this is successful, I will same thing I will do for the spine too. Okay, this configuration is pending, is not deployed. I will go and create another interface on the spine too. I will give that SVI interface. I will see that spine to VLAN 10. I will say that use this template policy. And I will give that IP address .2 here. .2. I will give that 24. MTU size, if you want to give that, that's fine. It's up to you. Admin is up. Advanced parameter, I want to say enable this. I will say that to use this IP address. Group ID is 10. Version 2 I want to select. And priority, if you want to keep that. Otherwise, I'm going to use the default priority, which is 100. Okay. Once this is done, I will enable the preempt also, just in case you want to enable the preempt. Otherwise, no need to enable the preempt for this. One side is fine. I will save this configuration. Then I will go to exit this. I will select this both the parameter. Then I will deploy this parameter. Okay, deploy this. The configuration. Once deploy configuration is done, what I will do here is I will go to the spine 1 and 2 and we'll see the HSRP. Okay, this is spine 1. I will say that so HSRP, saying that HSRP group has been created with a priority 1. So if I say that so HSRP standby, sorry, so HSRP summary, so HSRP brief. In that currently this is the your active .2. Okay, currently still it is in a exchanging state. Okay, so saying that local is standby and this is your primary. If I go to the spine 2, it means if I go to so VPC should be fine. If I go so HSRP summary, so HSRP brief, look here. This is saying that this is the group ID and this is the standby IP address. And if I go so run VLAN, so run interface VLAN 10. Interface VLAN 10. This is the configuration which has been pushed. This is done. VLAN 10 is done. Now we will try to perform same thing for VLAN 20. Okay. All the IP address details will be mentioned over here, like what all the parameters you want to change for the HSRP. So I will be sharing this document with you guys, and you can do the same. So what I will do here is I will create VLAN 20. I will say that this is the SVI on the spine 1. Okay, VLAN 20. I will say that select the policy, exact same task. I'm going to do that. 20.20.20.1/24 is up to you how you want to define that. And empty you want to change something like that. That's up to you. Admin is up. Then I will go to the advanced parameter. In advanced parameter, I will just enable that. Give that IP address 20.20.20.254. Group ID I will give 20. I will just enable the HSRP 50 here on the spine 1. And the preempt is checked for the standby devices. Why we check the preempt on standby devices? You probably need to, you can check the HSRP. Why we need preempt here? Preempt is for to have the switchover, dynamic switchover. That's the reason we need a preempt here. Okay. And usually standby needed preempt. You do not need to configure that preempt on the primary devices. Length is 24. This is done. I will say the global, enable that. What is the IP address? And the group is detail is 20. Version is fine. No need to enable that, preempt anything, which is fine. Done. I will do here is I will go and deploy these two VLAN which I have created on the spine 1 and 2. I will say deploy this configuration. This is pretty much straightforward and easy for the compared to the other manual thing. But one thing is, panic here is if you're having the hundreds of VLAN, you cannot do that manually. Then it's better to have the CLI, right? But advantage over here is you can configure the script. You can configure the script and you can have the better visibility on that. If I go to that, so HSRP, so run VLAN 20. Then if I say so HSRP brief, perfect. It will take a minute so to become the active. If I go to the spine 1, if I show HSRP brief, HSRP brief, perfectly fine. Cool. Spine 1 is standby. Spine 2 is a primary. If I go and show that spine 2 is a primary. Okay, now if I go to the here, if you see that topology, in the topology, you have this fabric. In the fabric, what is the current topology? If you see that, this is the topology currently showing that. If I see that, click on these devices, what configuration has been done, look here. All these details will be coming here. Now, if you want to check that spine, what configuration has been done, and currently showing that between leaf to spine configuration is okay, but between the CSR and the spine switches, which is this requirement is not being done. So the next step is I will try to configure the OSPF. Okay, I will try to configure the OSPF. The VLAN, this IP address is sitting over here. This IP address is VLAN sitting over here. Okay, here, through the HSRP. And the leaf is pure layer 2. I will create the layer 3 environment. So what I will do here is, let me define that. Let me create the OSPF. To create the OSPF, what you have to do here is you just go to the fabric. In a fabric, you just double click on this, go to the overview. In the overview section, you just have to add the policy. Okay, add the policy. In the add the policy, I will select that the spine 1. Okay, for the spine 1, I will select first here. Then choose the template. In the template, I will choose that OSPF template, which I have. I can search that, for example, base or feature OSPF. Feature OSPF. Done. First thing is I need to enable the feature on that. Then what I will do here is I will just put priority. Priority is saying that. All right. So what I will do here is OSPF feature is done. And once it is done, I will save this. Okay, then I will repeat the same add policy again. This is a feature template I have created. I will again select this one OSPF 1. I will choose the template. This time I will say that OSPF, the base OSPF template, I will use that. Okay, in the base OSPF template, I can use that, tag value is 100, for example, and the IP address is 1.1.1.1 for router ID. Okay, and once it is done, I will save this. Then same thing I will repeat for the spine 2. I will go and say that spine 2. In the spine 2, I will add that feature template first. OSPF and an OSPF feature OSPF. Then and save this. Then I will add the one more policy. That policy I will say that again for the spine switches. Template will be the base template where I have to define that few things, especially the router ID and tag. I will just 100, and the router ID I can give that 2.2.2.2. Okay, as a loop back address. Then save it. Then, but what I will do here is I will go to the here, recalculate and deploy the configuration. I will select that. I will select this and it will deploy the base configuration. So if I go to the here, so run OSPF. 2 features should be visible here. So run. OSPF should be coming over here. Let's wait for a second. Deploy all. And let's see. Perfect. It's saying that the feature license OSPF is enabled. That's the reason this license error is coming, because I have the So the evaluation license, OSPF is configuration is done. Once I have the OSPF configuration on that, then I have to call the OSPF on the CSR router, okay, which I have already done the configuration. Okay, I have already done the OSPF configuration on the CSR devices. So what I will do here is I will configure the very first thing is OSPF on the spine one towards the here interface 5 and 6. Okay. So let me go to here and I will create another interface profile interface. I will say that switch. In the switch, I will go to the spine one. Next to spine one, I will go to the interface. Interface, I will select that interface 5. Where is interface 5? Interface 5. I will just edit the configuration. Edit it. In edit the configuration, I will apply the policy. Which policy I will apply that? I will select that interface routed host for layer 3. Then I will select that what is the IP address should be for this interface. VRF, I will just keep that default 40.10.10.40.2. This is the IP address. If you see that, this is the IP address .1, .2. So .1 is here, .2 is here. I think no, .2 is on my side. I will type /24 MTU size 1500. I will say that, and then I will say that run the CLI. So I will say that's IP router OSPF 100 area 0. Okay, then I will say no shell on this interface. Okay. Then I will say save the configuration and deploy the configuration. Deploy the configuration and let's see what configuration it comes. So run OSPF. Let's wait for a sec. Oh, sorry, on the spine one, I have done that. So run OSPF. That this interface. Okay, if I say that, so IP OSPF neighbor, look here, neighborship is forming. Then same thing I can repeat on the spine 2 also. Okay, same thing I can repeat on the spine 2. So spine 2, which interface? 1/6 interface. I will go to here. Close this and this close. I will go to the double click on the spine 2 interface. In interface, I will go to the which interface? 1/6 interface. I will say that edit this. I will just select the routed host, the layer 3 configuration, layer 3 port template. In the template, I will say that VRF is nothing. What is the IP address? 10.10.60. I think it's 60. Yeah, I think it's 60. Okay, so what I will do here is I will go to here 10.10.3.2/24. Routing tag, I don't want to give anything, 1500. And on the interface, I will say that IP router OSPF 100 area 0. Then interface enable disable is up to you how you want to define that. And then what I will do here is I will deploy this interface. Okay, let's say deploy this. What I can do here is what is the interface 1/5 also I have missed that. Okay, so on the spine 1 I have just one interface. On a spine 2 I have two interface. 6 interface and 5 interface. On 5 interface, I have to define that. On 6 interface 30.1, which I have missed that, is a 30 dot, right? So this is exactly configuration. Is on the 6 interface, save, close this. I will add the 5 interface also. Oh, sorry. Not. Why is showing that spine 2 is over to spine 1? Just give me a second. Did I configure anything on spine 1? I have done the configuration. Did I change anything? Into interface. So it's interface 5 is active. This is fine. What about the spine 2? Sorry, spine 2 device switches. Spine 2. On the spine 2, if I go to the interface, on the interface, if I go to the 5 and 6 interface, so currently says the 6 has associated this profile, which is this is the profile ID, which is perfectly fine. And the 5 interface, let me edit this configuration. And 5 interface must have the 60. Screen's showing that, but let me try to do that. I will say that 5 and edit it. Area 0. No shut. Save the configuration and let's see if I am correctly doing fine. 5 and 6 configuration must be deployed. Deploy this. The interface is down, currently showing for the interface number 6, operational down for other side. Which is fine. I will check that, make sure. Okay, so there is something issue with the device discovery or what? If I say so, run OSPF. OSPF never, it's fine. So there is an issue with the deployment. If I show this is showing that device name is spine 1, which is looking strange. I see. My bad. So what I have done here is I have configured that spine 1 with the 2 ports. Okay, which is wrong. In the template, I had to find that configuration. So on the spine 1, what I will do here is I will configure that disable the port number 6. I will say that shut down. And on the interface number 5, I will just change that IP address. Let's wait for a second. It will be deploying soon. That's the reason I was confused live why this spine 1 interface is coming. So on the switch here, I will go to the spine 1 and I will go to the interface. The interface, I will select that 1/5. Okay, then I will edit this interface with the IP address of 40.2. Okay, save the configuration and deploy the configuration. Deploy the configuration is done. Just wait for a second. Perfectly fine. Then I will go to the spine 2. The spine 2, there is, this is currently spine 1 is coming. So I will select that spine 2. Spine spine2. I will search this. Activity is not showing that. Okay. I will go to the spine2. In a spine2, I have this interface pipe, and that pipe has this interface associated to the router template. In a 5.60.2 is the IP address. So I will give that 10.10.60.2. Submit mask is 24, 1500. Then I will give that IP router OSPF, saying that 100 area 0. Area 0. No shot. Cool. Save this configuration. Then same thing I will do for the interface number 6. Interface number 6. If I go here, I will give the IP address 30.2-24. Then 1500 is the IP address for this. And I will just say that IP router OSPF 100 area 0. No shit. Cool. Once this is two interface I have, I will try to deploy this both the interfaces which is pending. I will say deploy this configuration. Deploy on. This is done. Perfect. So what I will do here is I will check that the OSPF neighborship, two neighborship is coming from the spine2, which is from here and here. And from here, spine1, only one neighborship should be coming. Cool. Okay. And if I go to the CSR router, what configuration I have done? So run a lot of OSPF configuration has been done over here. Look here. This is the OSPF configuration I have done 10.10, and 30. 40. All these routers I have configuration. If you see that. So now what is the next step? Now, if I go to the my topology here, in the topology, I should have the connectivity. I should have the connectivity. Currently showing that there is some issue with this. Anyways, OSPF is formed. Okay, so what I will do here is next step is to configure all the 4 steps. The next step is to configure the VMM. Okay, VMM for what? VMM which is connecting. If I go to the vCenter, the vCenter, I have few VMs. I will say the open with the screen and let's see if that opens. If you see that there are a couple of these interfaces are connecting with the VMs, which is connecting with the leaf switches, leaf 1 and leaf 2. Okay, so what I will do here is I will configure the VMM. I will go to the NDFC. I will go to the virtual management. I will just say the add the instance. In the add the instance, what I will do here is vCenter. Okay, and in the vCenter, I will give that IP address of the vCenter, which is this is the IP address. You can give the FQDN name also, and the password I will give that is this one. Okay, then I will say add it. Once it is added, perfectly fine. I will go to the topology and you will see that here. Saying that VMM node is connected over here. Two servers are connected. In the VMM, there are two servers which are connecting to it. Multiple sides. If I go VMM, I have added here. The server one. In the server one, if you see that this is how the connectivity it is. Saying that spine one, this is the leaf switch, leaf 1 and 2 connecting to the EXXI, and I have the connection between. This is the connectivity. Okay, showing that. Now, if you see that, if you want to see for the like different one also, I will see the EXXI, want to see nothing else. So what I will do here is I will try to just connect the EXXI, not the VM. So I will just click on this device. How I can go into that? EXXI should be, if I say here, compute, double click on this topology. I will say to that should be vCenter here. And the vCenter will say the compute. In the compute node, what should be coming here? Okay, this is how the topology looking like. Okay, an exact topology, which is this one. So what I try to do here is I have attached that VMware with my here, with my leaf configuration. Now, if I want to configure anything or you want to, check anything, what you have to do here is you have to configure the leaf port to the EXXI, right? Which port is that? Leaf interface port 4, 3, right? These are the port which is connecting to the EXXI server. Sorry, this server, EXXI server. In this server, I have two VM1, VM2. So what I will do here is I will go to the fabric again now. LAN fabric. Then I will go to the interface, double click on this. Sorry, not interface here. Interface. In interface, what I will try to do here is I will try to configure that leaf one interface 1/4. Okay. This interface. I will try to edit it. Where is connecting? This is connecting to this port, right? Port 4. Week 1, week 2. Okay. Then I will go to the here and edit, and I will say that what exactly you want to enable. I want to just enable the trunk host. Then what all the things you want to, I want to disable the BPDU. I want to uncheck this one. Jumbo, you just keep the default. Auto negotiation is fine. Trunk allowed VLAN, all I want to see that. Yeah, sorry, should be auto. Should be all. Okay, on this port. And then I will try to deploy this, save the configuration and deploy this. Leave one, this deploy the configuration. Perfect. After deploying the configuration, what should we do? This server 20.20 subnet must be able to reach to this one. Okay, so what I will do here is I will go to the server of which one is that? 20.20.7 is which one? What I will do here is I will go to the server one, launch the console, web console I will launch. I will try to ping the I will ping 20.20.20.254. Now look, see here. I'm able to reach to the spine 2. If I go to the spine 2 now, or spine 1 anywhere, if I say so IPR, so look here. For VLAN 20, the subnet is coming. Okay. Now what I will do here is I can try to ping from the currently what is happening here is all these subnets interfaces belong to the OSPF, but currently VLAN 10 and VLAN 20 does not belong to the OSPF. If that they do not belong to the OSPF, it means this host cannot reach to this host, right? This device does not have this entry. So what I will do here is I will whatever SVI I have created, I will put that SVI, I will advertise that subnet into the OSPF. Okay, if I go to the CSR router, any of the CSR router, and check the OSPF neighbor, so IP route. In the routing, you see that 20.20 subnet is not coming. Okay, from anywhere. So to achieve that, I will go to the NXOS dashboard here. One thing I forget that the lift2 should be configured the port number 3 if you want to. Otherwise, if you do not want to do that, that's well and fine. You can define that based on your requirement. And I will do here. Go to the fabric classical interface, or what you can do here is interface. In the interface here also you can modify that spine 1 VLAN to VLAN 20. I will try to advertise from the one device only at a time. Do I have the VLAN? No, I don't have the VLAN. So what I will do is fabric, double click on this SVI. On SVI, which SVI was that? I will go to the VLAN 20 on the spine 1. So which template is that? All right, so here we have spine 1. Spine 1 has huge interfaces. I go to here, spine 16778. Where is the interface? If it is not coming here, which is fine, VLAN 20. What I will do here is I will say device name equivalent to spine 1. Spine 1 interface. Spine 1 VLAN 20. Okay, I will edit this and I will advertise this VLAN under the in a free form configuration. What I will do here is I will just type that you belong to OSPF 100 area 0. That's it. The moment I will say that save configuration and I haven't deployed. If you see that VLAN on spine 1. So run interface VLAN 20. There is no OSPF now. Okay, the moment I will deploy that, deploy the configuration must be pushed over here. Look here, OSPF configuration. Now this subnet must be reachable to the CSR router. See that 20.20.20 via this one interface. Perfect. Now, if you want to deploy for the VLAN 10, which is not tested this one, I can deploy this interface here also and configure the VPC if you want to. So what I will do here is I will try to just give me a second. If you want to, deploy for this spine 2 is the same exact replica configuration. You can just, configure the interfaces. As of now, current all the traffic is going via this. I have not configured this one. So if you want, you can do that. What I have to do here is configuration. I have to go to the interface, leave to device name, fabric, leave to. And the leave to what I have interface, which is connecting to this device is interface 3. We say interface 3, edit the configuration. Interface, I will say trunk host. Just keep that default. Port fart is disabled. I will say below in and all. Done. I will say save the configuration. Deploy the configuration. So once this is done, I have to establish the communication from here to here also, right? So I have to advertise OSPF IP advertisement over here, not from here. So what I can do here is I can advertise the same subnet via the currently 20.20.20.20 subnet is advertising via the 40 subnet. It should be advertised via the 30 subnet as well. If I go to the CSR router, it's currently .40, not from .30. So what I will do here is I can. Did I deploy that? I've done that, I think. VLAN code. What I will do here is I will go to the spine again. Device name equivalent to the spine 2. Spine 2, I will say that VLAN 20. I will just edit that and advertise to the IP router OSPF 100 area 0. That's it. Done. So if you go to the here, this subnet must be coming from 2 paths. 30.auto also 40. Also. Okay, from 30. Also 40. Also. Now, what about this 10 VLAN 10? VLAN 20 is now fully fledged receiver, right? What about VLAN 20? VLAN 10. Let's create the VLAN 10 as an access, not the trunk. Okay, I have configured here as a just trunk port with the without VPC. But let me configure the VPC here. So what I will do here is I will try to do the interface configuration, which is a interface, I think is 3 and 4 here for VPC or LSAP rather. Okay. So for that, what I will do here is I will be going to the fabric or not fabric. I will go to the interface. In the interface, I will just create the interface. And during the creating the interface, what I can select here is VPC interface. I can select that leaf on leaf 1 and 2. I can give that 55, for example. Trunk is fine, this host. I don't mind that. Then I will say that configure the mirror copy. I will not configure that. The reason for that, both the side interfaces are different. So Ethernet 1/3 is on primary. Ethernet 1/4 is on this device. 1/4, 1/3. Okay. Port channel is active. VPDU guard. I will say that disable that. I do not need VPDU guard. Just disable this. MTU size, I will keep the default for server. Allowed VLAN, I can say that keep that none as of now. And done. If I save the configuration, I deploy the configuration. Deploy the configuration on the leaf 1, 2. If I go to the leaf 1, if I log into the leaf 1 switch here, leaf 1, leaf 1 I have here, admin. I will say that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will say that show VPC, whether the interfaces are up or not, saying that VPC is successfully up, but is showing that as a down. Let's wait for a few seconds. It should be coming back. I say so VPC. Why the VPC is down? So run interface port channel 55. VLAN is none. Okay, if I say so, interface port channel 55. Let's see if there is down, saying that operational member is down. And something is wrong with the VPC or what? So VPC. Okay, so VLAN allowed is none. It means there is something wrong with the configuration. It should be allowed all. So let me do that recheck. I will say that should be allowed all. Okay, should be allowed all. Then I will say that VPC enable, which is fine. I will save the configuration. I will deploy the configuration. Leaf 1, if I say that so LLDP neighbor, so CDP neighbor. So interface status, if you see that interface number 3 is connected on the leaf 1, 4 is connected over leaf 2. So what I have done here is, so VPC, so interface port channel 55. Member port is 3. Okay, so here is a wrong. I have mapped the wrong port on the leaf 2. So what I will do here is on the here, I will say the here 1 is a 4, I think. Here 1 is the 4. Member port is 3. And let's see the configuration. Let me deploy the configuration and let's see what is happening. Save the configuration, then deploy the configuration. Let me deploy the configuration. And let's see if that comes back. Okay, perfect. Saying that the leaf 2 has an interface number 4. Leaf 2 has interface number 4. And leaf 1 should have the interface number 3. I go to here. So interface port channel 55. 3. Port is should be up now with the allowed trunk. Perfect. So VPC. Now, once you have all this configuration, what I can do here is I can advertise this VLAN 10 also into the OSPF because this subnet is not available in the CSR router. So this host cannot ping these guys. Okay, so what I can do here is if you go to the whole CSR router in the CSR, so IP route, nothing has been configured for 10.10.10 subnet. Okay, 10.10. Which specific subnet are you looking for? 10.10.10. Okay, nothing has been configured. 20, 30, 40, 60 is there. So what I have to do here is on the spine switch, I have to advertise the this interface into the OSPF. So device name, I will say that I can advertise from the spine 2 first. Okay. And let's see VLAN 10. I can edit it and I can say that IP router OSPF 100 area 0. Then save the configuration. Then I will deploy the configuration. It means only from the one side of the spine I am trying to push the configuration first. Then we will advertise both the side. Currently I'm advertising from the spine 2. So spine 2 will be advertising via 2 interface this subnet 30.0 and 60.0. Okay. So let me log into the CSR, and CSR should have the 10.10. Subnet via the 2 paths. Saying that currently no 10. Subnet. Okay. So IP route, no 10.10.10 subnet. The reason for here is what can be the reason? Okay, deploy the configuration. Let me deploy again it. I hope this configuration is created that right template. So in that area IP router OSPF 100 area 0, right? Which should be I have a checking on the wrong side or what? I mean, let's do it on the spine 1 also. Device name, I will say spine 1. Then I will go to the spine 1 VLAN 10 configuration change. I will see that IP router OSPF 100 area 0. Deploy this configuration on the spine 1 and let's see. Okay, so both the site has been advertising now. Spine 1, spine 2. Perfectly. The spine from the on the CSR1. CSR1, I'm getting the route from here also and here also 10.10 subnet. On the CSR2, just getting from the single host as well as it is must be coming from here also 20. Subnet also. If I go to CSR1, or if it is not advertising, it is coming just directly connected. It is not, advertising back. Now, once you've done that configuration, what I can do here is I can log into the server 3, which is your this server. I can see this one, server 3, and I can try to ping 10.10 subnet to this gateway. I can try to ping. I can try to ping this IP also. Okay. So what I can do here is let me log into the vSphere. I can log into the server 3 web console. The username password is strange. I don't know. Or I can try something. Oh no. Admin. Just trying that if that works. That is the issue for this. What I can try to do here is I can try to log in a web server. So web server is where web host, and let's see if web host I'm able to launch. Okay, from the web host I can try to ping 10.10.10.254 and it is reachable. Okay, Even 20.20.20.subnet must be reachable. 20.20.20.254. Perfect. It means this server able to reach here also and here also. So it will be obvious that it can reach to the end host also. Okay, it can reach from here to here also. 10.10.10.10. If I try to ping from here, and let's see it how it goes. If I go here, 10.10.10.10, it is reachable. Okay, so this is how you configure that end-to-end, a legacy classic network using the NDFC. However, the next session I'm going to take NDFC for the VXLAN configuration, where how you can configure the VXLAN between the leaf and spine devices, how you can configure the multi-site, all this through the NDFC. All this scenario I will be covering in upcoming sessions. Okay, thanks for watching. We'll see you in next session.